Hello and welcome to this commentary on Battlefield 3. This is going to be a team deathmatch on Seine Crossing. This is on the PC, and if you're into Battlefield 3, you probably know that it looks really good on the PC. Hopefully that comes across in the video on YouTube. My PC, I run it on ultra settings, and really good frame rates. Really impressed with the way the game looks. As I said earlier, this is a team deathmatch on Seine Crossing. I kind of prefer the team deathmatch playstyle personally to, say, Conquest or Rush. The games are a little bit shorter. Yeah, there's no vehicles. The vehicles are fun though. Definitely not. Don't have anything against them. I also think this is a pretty good way to unlock your weapons and or get all the unlocks for your weapons. And I've managed to rank up decently fast doing this too. I'm using the throughout this video I'll be using the assault class. I kind of like it for team deathmatch. Although I admit that I have not played the other three classes that much. I'm using the L85A2 that's unlocked from completing the achievement Professional Russian, which I assume is a homage to FPS Russia. But it's a pretty nice weapon. I'm using the hollow, the foregrip, and suppressor. I think the rate of fire is somewhere around 650, but it seems to do pretty decent damage. In close quarters against somebody using like an MP7 or something with a really high rate of fire, it's not the greatest gun, but it's still pretty good.
Hey, they're holding me down over here! Incoming!
The audio quality of Battlefield 3 is pretty amazing. I use a HT Striker 7.1 sound card and the Asteroid 40 headset. Really get into the sound in this game. I'm shooting at my own guy. The only thing I have to say, and I looked around on the internet, so I'm not the only person that noticed this, is that it's very difficult to hear enemy footsteps, if you can at all. You can hear your own footsteps. I think you can hear the footsteps of your teammates, squad mates. But as far as I know, you can't hear enemy footsteps. Now, I don't know if that was just to make knifing easier, or what the motivation behind that was, actually. But yeah, I have the audio set to war tapes, which I happen to think sounds pretty good. They all sound pretty similar to war tapes. You know, really does a good job of making the action seem like it's all around you. The destructible environment in Team Deathmatch creates some interesting situations. I'm always a little leery of the guys that are shooting RPGs, been killed by RPGs and just debris from RPG fire many times. When I started playing this, my KDR, kill-death ratio, was actually really terrible. It's slowly starting to go positive. I generally go positive in most matches these days, but I'm by no means an exceptional player. I think I'm pretty average. This game cuts off before it's complete. I think my hard drive filled up before the game was over. And if I recall correctly, I think I go like 26 and 14, something like that. Nothing amazing. I don't know why I threw that grenade. And I've been killed by that many times. A friendly player, not their fault, they're in your way. You can't get past them. get a couple of revenge kills here. So I'm kind of getting back into shooters after being an MMO player for a long time, and really trying to force myself to use the mini-map. As you can see, those little orange triangles down there. It's one of the reasons I actually run a suppressor. I don't like being an orange triangle for my enemy to see on their radar. If you're not familiar with Battlefield 3, and you're more of like a Call of Duty player, maybe Quake or something like that, that's maybe one of the first things you notice about this game is just a lot slower. Run and gun can work in this game. It certainly works on maps like Carg Island. On maps like this, it works really well on Wake Island too. On a map like this, when I've tried to do it, I usually end up just getting killed a lot. So my playstyle as of right now is to just kind of slow down, try to figure out where the enemies are, where they're going, and then just try to engage them. If I can flank them, that's usually what I'm going to try to do. You can see on the orange triangles there on the mini-map, they're all in the street on the right side of the building. I totally should have revived this guy, but I didn't. Maybe that's something I'll get better at in future gameplay. This right here is why I like being an assault class. I don't know how many times I've lived through something, or been able to heal up after taking a ton of damage that really probably should have killed me. I'm not really sure why it didn't. But yeah, that's a big bonus of playing assault. This video is, I trying out a new program, so this video is recorded using something called DXTory. Actually not sure how to pronounce it. It's kind of an alternative to Fraps. I'm just using the native codec here. I did compress it down into H.264, but I kind of like it. It was doing the job for me. I got a little better FPS. Shot him in his man parts. I got a little better FPS using this program than I did with Fraps. Now with Fraps it was fine. My machine's an i7, 16 gigs of RAM, GTX 570, so and I'm recording to an SSD drive, so I don't really have big unplayable FPS drops, but I just felt like this program was a little bit better. Recording at 60 frames per second, I felt like the gameplay was just smoother somehow. The files are a little bit bigger than they are with Fraps. Kind of a catch-22 is something that I like about it and also don't like. I actually edit my videos on a Mac using Final Cut Pro. And the files are a little bit bigger than Fraps, so the upside is that it records it as one file. I think this one was like 54 gigs for using the DXTory codec for about 16.5 minutes of gameplay. And that's really not bad at 720p resolution, 60 frames per second. So that's sweet, but it's all one file. You don't have to fool around with combining them or anything. The downside is that it makes it difficult to transfer those over to the Mac. So I have to bring it into Virtual Dub, compress it, and then put it on a thumb drive and then move it over. So it's just some additional steps. If you're curious to get it into Final Cut Pro, actually open it in Compressor and save that as ProRes 422, 442. I'm not sure which of those it is. Of course, the downside to doing that, here I am rambling on about my process, is that the ProRes encoded file is massive, huge. So, always something when you're doing this video editing. that sniper. I don't know what it is about snipers. You know, they're just playing their role, but definitely, it's not really a pet peeve. But if somebody snipes me, I usually, after I res, go and find them. I don't know what it is. I just, you know, I do think a lot of people play Recon in kind of a cheesy way, but yeah. Most of the time I get sniped, that's like the next thing I'm thinking about when I spawn, especially in Team Deathmatch and Conquest and Rush. I mean, what are you gonna do, right? But yeah, those snipers. Not sure if I actually get it in this one, but later in this game I end up having kind of a fun exchange with the sniper. MP7 wins that encounter. Of course I should have ducked out of the way like that guy did too. So yeah, having a lot of fun with this game. I also have, you know, I probably shouldn't even mention Call of Duty, but the huge thing for me with Battlefield is that obviously I'm a PC player, and this game is actually good on the PC. I have it on the Xbox too, and I enjoy it on the Xbox, but I just gotta say it looks so much better on the PC. And it's very playable. There's servers for any type of game type that you would want to play. You know, makes it a much more enjoyable experience than that other game, which I won't talk about anymore. I'm just doing a little soft camping here. You know, I don't know how many times I've been killed by a guy crouching behind a car because I didn't see him, so I'm not going to feel bad about that at all. You know, at first I wasn't really sure that I liked the destructible environment, but the more I play Battlefield, especially, well, in all the game types, but in Team Deathmatch, it really makes for some interesting things, you know, like that building there to the left, that's all blown up now. You know, that's this map, as you can probably tell if you haven't played it, is just full of windows for people to stick a gun out and try to cap people. And you know, the destructible environment really makes that kind of more interesting. You know, if you shoot out the window too long, an RPG is going to be coming your way. Oh yeah, totally failed to stay on that guy. So I'm considering doing a series of these. Don't really know what I'm going to call it. It'll be something along the lines of, you know, trying to get better at this game. I'm by no means anything other than, you know, a very average player, but, you know, I enjoy Battlefield quite a bit. I enjoy shooters. Just kind of getting back into that genre of game, and considering doing a video series. So shooting at my own guys again. A little revenge on this engineer. So yeah, as unpolished and kind of raw as this video is, that's probably going to be the first in that series. I'll try to post like one a week. For folks that like Battlefield, it might be something that they're interested in watching. This is pretty funny. I don't think either one of us actually could find each other. Gotta love when that happens. Worked out in my favor that time, but there have been a lot of times I was the guy that couldn't see the guy standing right next to him. Makes for good times. Yeah, I think there's only about a minute and a half left of this game, so I'll let you just enjoy that, and I will see you in another video probably next week. Thanks.